What happens when one of Hollywood's most revered actors, a man whose name is synonymous with excellence, faces off against a television host who thinks he can get away with disrespecting him on live TV? The answer will stun you. It was supposed to be just another promotional interview, but it turned into a showdown no one saw coming. The studio lights blazed as Denzel Washington, an actor whose mere presence commands respect, sat across from Michael Strahan on Good Morning America. Calm, composed, and impeccably dressed in a navy suit, Denzel was there to discuss his latest film, a passion project years in the making. But from the first word, it was clear that Strahan, known for his flashy smile and sports commentary, wasn't there to engage with the Oscar-winning actor in any meaningful way. "Another movie, huh, Denzel?" Strahan started, his tone flat as if already bored before Denzel even opened his mouth. "So, what's different about this one? Is it just another drama, like the others?" Boom. That wasn't a question. It was a dismissal. Denzel, ever the professional, held his composure. "This film is deeply personal to me," he began, trying to explain the heart of his work. "It's about a father who's trying to reconnect with his son after years of separation. It deals with themes of forgiveness, redemption." But Strahan, not even bothering to let him finish, interrupted with a casual scoff. Right, a father-son drama. Another one of those movies you always do. How many of those can one guy make?" The air in the room shifted. The audience felt it. The discomfort was palpable. Here was Denzel Washington, a two-time Academy Award winner, one of the most respected figures in Hollywood, and he was being treated like his legacy didn't matter. Denzel's smile flickered, but he didn't let the comment faze him. Instead, he took a deep breath and responded with grace. "I do films that mean something, stories that connect with people." But Strahan wasn't done. He leaned back, a smirk playing across his face as if he had just landed a clever jab. Yeah, sure. But how many of those serious movies can one guy make? Don't you ever get tired of it? You should do something fun for once. Lighten up. Maybe a comedy or something." The tension in the room was thickening by the second, and yet Denzel remained poised, refusing to let the disrespect rattle him. It wasn't just the question. It was the manner in which Strahan asked it. With a smirk, he leaned back in his chair, clearly uninterested in what Denzel had to offer. "So another serious film. How many times can one guy play the same role? Don't you ever get bored of all the drama?" The audacity of it was clear to anyone watching. Here was Denzel Washington, a two-time Academy Award winner, a living legend in Hollywood, and yet he was being treated like his decades of hard work were insignificant. His smile faded slightly, but Denzel remained composed. He replied, "I do films that matter, stories that connect with people." Strahan, dismissive as ever, waved him off. Yeah, but have you ever thought about doing something different? Like, I don't know, something fun? People want to see you lighten up a bit." Strahan's comments weren't just rude, they were degrading. Denzel, with over 4 decades of dedication to his craft, was being reduced to a punchline. But instead of reacting angrily, he maintained his calm demeanor, refusing to stoop to Strahan's level. "I believe in stories that resonate," Denzel said firmly, his voice steady. "And sometimes those stories aren't meant to make people laugh. They're meant to make them think." Strahan, apparently still oblivious to the gravity of the conversation, laughed mockingly. Sure, but I'm talking about a real crowd pleaser. When was the last time you did something lighthearted? People don't want to sit through a movie about a guy staring off into the distance thinking about his life choices." The insult was blunt and personal, and the tension in the room was palpable. Denzel, who had long been known for his restraint, finally let his disappointment show, though his voice never wavered. "I've done comedies, I've done action films, I've even done Shakespeare. I've spent my career pushing myself to be the best." Strahan, still trying to provoke a reaction, sneered, 40 years of the same thing, huh? Doesn't it ever get old?" The words hung in the air, sharp and hurtful. But Denzel didn't flinch. "I don't think there's anything predictable about doing excellent work year after year. That's what people respect." The camera caught the shift in Strahan's demeanor as he leaned forward, his eyes narrowed. You've got to admit, Denzel, you've kind of become a one-trick pony. You keep doing the same thing. Maybe it's time to pass the torch. This wasn't just a comment about Denzel's career. It was a jab at his very relevance. The host wasn't just questioning his choices. He was questioning whether Denzel even had a place in today's entertainment industry. Denzel's response was icy, but controlled. I think my time has been well spent. I've never chased trends. I've built a career based on integrity, and I'm proud of that. Strahan, feeling the pressure but unwilling to back down, tried to dismiss Denzel's remarks with a casual laugh. Maybe it's just time for a change, you know? You've had your moment. There was a long, uncomfortable pause. Denzel, maintaining his cool, asked a simple question that caught Strahan off guard. How long have you been hosting, Michael? Strahan, confused, responded, A few years? Why? Denzel, with precision, asked again, In those few years, have you learned anything about respecting your guests? The question hung in the air, and for the first time, Strahan was momentarily speechless. Denzel had shifted the power dynamic, turning the tables with a simple, probing question. Strahan, trying to recover, laughed nervously, but it was too late. Denzel, with a quiet strength, addressed the situation head-on. This isn't about asking questions. This is about creating drama. You're not having a conversation. You're performing, trying to make me the punchline of your show. The audience was silent. Strahan, realizing he had crossed a line, tried to apologize, but Denzel wasn't interested in a half-hearted apology. I'm not here to entertain you, Michael. I'm here to talk about my work, and you've spent the last several minutes disrespecting it. With a slow, deliberate motion, Denzel stood up, removing the microphone clipped to his lapel. I'm done here. Strahan, in a panic, reached out, trying to stop him. You can't just leave. This is live television. Denzel turned to him with a steady gaze. I can, and I will. You've made it clear you don't respect me, and I'm not going to sit here any longer. As Denzel walked off the set, the cameras followed him, capturing the moment. The studio was frozen in shock. No one had expected this. Strahan, now standing alone on the set, tried to regain his composure. That was unexpected. We'll be right back after this break. But the damage was done. Denzel Washington, with grace and dignity, had made his stand. He didn't need to yell, didn't need to get angry. He simply chose to leave, to protect his self-respect. Strahan had tried to provoke a moment for television drama, but what he got instead was a masterclass in handling disrespect. As Denzel stepped out of the studio, the lesson was clear. Respect isn't something that can be demanded through manipulation or mockery. It's something that's earned, and if it's not given, you don't have to tolerate it. The most powerful moments don't come from raising your voice. They come from knowing when to walk away. Strahan had thought he was the one in control. In the end, it was Denzel who had the last word without saying another syllable.